Yo, peace to the God's reflection. Listen, Eligio Bishop is being held under false pretenses right now. He was sentenced to life with no chance of parole with 10 years to run consecutively with that. This conviction was made despite his right to due process was being violated. His human rights and inalienable rights were being neglected. He didn't have a fair chance at the trial. Let's take a look at all of the steps and all of the points that shows that his constitutional rights were violated. Now let's look at this. One of the main points is that the transcripts has still not been released. It's been almost more than a year since the conviction was made that these transcripts has not been released. His Sixth Amendment right has been violated, right to fair trial, right? It's been 13 months since the trial ended. The transcripts still haven't been released, and without the transcripts, Eligio Bishop can't properly or effectively make an appeal or file a motion or challenge judicial misconduct because it's not publicly accessible to get those records. That's a denial of access to evidence and obstruction of defense strategy. His 14th Amendment violation, due process and equal protection. Everybody's entitled to the same legal process. Withholding transcripts this long creates an unfair disadvantage, making it impossible to prepare for an appeal or hold the court or the judge accountable for the conviction that they made. This is another one. Another very important key point. The judge tested positive for COVID-19 and she still decided to proceed with the case. This is another Sixth Amendment violation. Right to be present at a trial. Eligio Bishop, he chose not to be present at the trial and attended due to the legitimate health concerns, right? The judge tested positive and she still went along with the case. She violated his right to confront witnesses, assist counsel, and be physically present in his own defense. As well, Eighth Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment. She forced him to choose between his health or his freedom. This is inhumane. While she ignored the CDC guidelines and proceeded unlawfully, she took laws and the matters into her hands as if she was above the law. It's crazy though, but hold on, before I continue on with the points, I'm about to show you Judge Stacey Hydrick exposes that she broke the CDC guidelines and that she broke the law. Watch this.
Number two, COVID. I discussed this with counsel. We mentioned it to the jurors. Everybody is fine with going forward. We have masking in place. We have provided you with the mask. We have hand sanitizer. COVID has been going on for 4 years, folks. We got to figure out how to live with this. We are way more than 5 feet apart, and the CDC guidelines are in the process of changing anyway with respect to the isolation rules. And while they haven't changed yet, they are in the process of changing them to eliminate the isolation requirements and just to require masks. I am wearing a mask. I will wear a mask throughout the entire trial.
Now, point 3. We actually put in 6 motions for speedy trial. Those got denied. That's another Sixth Amendment violation. Look, holding someone for years without resolution is a textbook violation of constitutional rights, man. The Constitution doesn't allow indefinite delays without solid justification. Vague excuses like court congestion do not count. Supreme Court, Barker vs. Wingo. Look, it's a test. Length of delay, reason for delay, defendant's assertion of right, and prejudice caused to the defendant. All 4 of those apply in this situation that Eligio Bishop is in, man. And right here, man, let's talk about being inhumane and being unethical. The 4th point, his motion for retrial was ignored. They didn't even answer it. That's a 14th Amendment violation. Due process. A valid motion for retrial was filed and ignored. The court is required to acknowledge or respond, not pretend it doesn't exist. This strips Eligio Bishop of his procedural protection. He has that as a human being under the human rights. He has that right. Judicial ethics. Violation. Judges are required to respond to motions in a timely manner. That's like 60 to 90 days after the conviction. Ignoring them shows clear bias, and that bias undermines the legitimacy of the entire case. This is an easy win. In a nutshell, at this point, who's the victim here? Eligio Bishop seems to be the victim here. He's the victim at the hands of the corruption of the judicial system that we are living in, that we are putting our trust and faith in. He's being attacked right now. He's being attacked not because he broke a law, but because he dared to lead and awaken the God within everybody, within the whole humanity, and be a living example as to what the living Christ would look like and what you would have to go through when you picked up your unk and start to overcome your generational curses. You were going to be stoned, ridiculed, crucified by your own people, and falsely at that. But on another note, we understand that this is already in design. This is not by coincidence. We know that this system has programs put in place like COINTELPRO. That's very much alive today. The FBI, the judicial system, the police department, all these other programs or organizations are in place to keep the black man docile. The people or the powers that be, they know that the Christ consciousness or the messenger, the Messiah, is going to come back in the form of the black man. That's why they're in the Vatican bowing down to the Black Mother Mary. They understand that the black man is God. They know this. So they're doing everything in their power to target black men that has the power and the mentality to influence the masses to stand up for what's true, to stand up for what is right. Because we're living in an oppressed and unjust, marginalized system where if you're a person of brown colored descent or you're a melanated being, then you're silenced. With all that being said, you can't cage the spirit of God. Eligio Bishop will rise. You can delay justice, but the truth will never be delayed. All right? 3 is free, man. Follow, share the live, man. Hit me up in the inbox if you want to know how to support the Eligio Bishop, man. I love myself. Peace to the gods.